everybody, and welcome back to the Oklahoma State Sports Network. I am the Cowboy Crowd, and I am joined by Brian. How's it going, Brian?
Um, Interesting, I guess. To say the least. I mean, man, what an
Yeah,
episode this is gonna be.
I can't really say I disagree with you there. We've had a very interesting set of events happening in the past weeks here in the Twisters organization. We're just gonna give you a quick little breakdown of what we're going to be covering in today's episode. We got the Series 1 recap to go here for you. That's probably where you'll get the only positive versions of us all day. I'm going to be honest, especially the first game. The Series 2 stuff with Randy and the games and all that. And then a trade that literally just minutes before we started, we just both saw for the first time, and well, let's just say we are now officially in a tank. We might as well turn Oklahoma Stadium into a giant tank. But anyways, let's not waste any further time. Let's get to the only positive thing that came out of the last set of weeks' events: our Series 1 matchup with the Dredson Dragons. This matchup has been our second win. The reason we're 2-3 right now, and it was an overtime thriller here in Oklahoma City. Very back and forth game, very good game, and I think we'll just get straight into the stats. We'll start with the Dragons, and then we'll get to the Twisters. Starting with the Dragons, John the Boat, he with 26 or 47, 564 passing yards, 55.3 completion percentage, 5 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions from John. Rushing wise, John had 11 rushes, 59 rushing yards, and a touchdown. And then at his receiving core, you had Young Lean with 4 receptions, 143 receiving yards, and a touchdown. El Capo Jr., 9 receptions, 93 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. It's like the highest stat line I think I've ever seen for a tight end. I don't see tight ends often getting that many receptions, that many yards, or that many touchdowns. So very interesting to see.
Yeah.
The Casper effect, 4 receptions, 139 receiving yards. Manifestation, 4 receptions, 65 receiving yards. Puzzler, 3 receptions, 72 receiving yards, and a touchdown. And Chase, AC Vert with 2 receptions for 52 receiving yards and a touchdown. So for the Dragons, only 2 members, of their receiving core not getting touchdowns on the day. And overall, none of them had below 50 receiving yards, which honestly is not good for the Twisters defense. So I think just gaining these first stats from the first series, I think that game against the Vikings was a fluke, Brian, but that might just be me.
No, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. I'm trying not to hold grudges, but just like what I already know this team has become, I'm really trying to hold back here.
Yeah, you got to think this is the Series 1 team right now, Brian. You got to think this is the Series 1 team.
I'm trying. Look, I'll say it like this. I mean, this was interesting. I mean, this was, a win I guess we needed at the time, but you would have liked to see it by a little more points, if I'm honest. The Dragons team played well. I mean, really getting the ball around. And I'm not, we did the same thing. Just forecasting for the future here, which you're about to announce in a couple minutes, but you can. I mean, can I say you can only do so much? I mean,
there's definitely more we could. I'll say it.
I don't. I mean, it's not the most absurd stat line I've seen from a tight end, but it's definitely a little bit of a eye opener.
I'd say they did what now? Kind of moment, like they just kind of something you got to like hear it again to make sure you heard it right, because that's unheard of, really.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an eye opener. And I guess at the time probably should have taken a bigger note at that. but I mean, I would have really loved for us to. I mean, it's whatever, right? I mean, I'm trying not to be bland here, but this is pretty atrocious. Uh, I thought, if I'm honest, this was a team that we'd blow out in my pure humbleness. Not blow out, but at least win by multiple drives. And we,
Scores.
yeah, we didn't do well capitalizing off the turnovers. Um, at least, well, I mean, I guess Randy threw two back, so I guess it's. I mean, it was a solid team win. What can I say? Battled to the end, but again, this I didn't anticipate this game being this close.
Definitely. Gonna get back to these stats. Joseph for the Dragons, yeah, out of his 9 drives, led up a tackle for loss. And then on the defense, oh boy, there's a lot of people here for the Dragons. El Capio with a sack, Chasey Vert with a pick, Puzzler with a pick, the Casper Effect with a sack, and Joseph with a sack. And John the Boat also making a field goal before halftime. Field goals very rare to see in the OFL. You rarely see field goals.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. That which, I mean, that's what kind of a. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess before halftime, I don't really remember how was this like clock expiring. Or
I think there was just like not enough time. I think it was like less than 3 seconds, if my memory is correct. So it was just like not enough to really worth trying to score. You're close enough to just take the points in a close game.
yeah, I mean, that's just smart gameplay there. I can't really hate on that one. So, I mean, yeah, I don't got no comment on that. I think the Dragons probably should have won this game, though, if I'm honest.
Well, anyways, now we got the Twister stats, so we'll start with Randy. He went 20 for 32, 487 passing yards, a 62.3.5 completion percentage, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, while also going for 5 rushes for 15 yards and a touchdown. And also, we had somebody else in rushing yards, Samuel, getting 2 rushes, going for -2 yards. You might as well have not rushed the ball at all.
100%.
All right, well, nothing really to say with Randy's stats, so we'll move on to our receiving core. Samuel, he had 5 receptions, 165 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Gamver, 2 receptions, 26 receiving yards and a touchdown. Foreign Status, 5 receptions, 157 receiving yards and a touchdown. 2N6I, 3 receptions, 28 receiving yards. Parker, 2 receptions for 60 yards. Slushy Runs with a reception for 23 yards and a touchdown. Gregory Fortnite, 2 receptions for 28 receiving yards.
I mean, that's solid. That's really solid getting the ball around. That's something that you can't complain about.
I'm pretty sure at the time our number 1 and 2 receivers both going over 100 receiving yards in the game.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I mean, I love that. Obviously, that was it's an amazing performance right there. That's everything you want to see out of your team. I mean, all but 3 players getting in the end zone, so it's not really something you can complain about. And I think that was a pretty solid day through the air.
Now we got to get on to so now Death, and out of his 9 drives, led 3 sacks. I see why he got rid of him. Yeah, Death Squad's no longer on the team. We had a lot of trades happening, but not a lot of them were important, so we're just not going to talk about them. And then defense-wise, Samuel, he had 2 passes defended. Randy, he had a tackle for loss. That one looks really weird. That's an interception. Slushy Runs had a pick and pass defended. Gamvert with a swat and the pick. If memory serves me correct, it was Yamvert's pick that set up the game-winning field goal from Randy to win in overtime.
Yeah. I mean, solid, very solid day on defense.
You know, there was a period in this franchise where you weren't seeing that a lot. And, you know, I mean, that was a glimpse of hope right there. And, you know, you got to love forcing the QB to turn the ball over. And not a bad day on defense, so I don't hate that.
That is arguably the bright spot we've had here in the Swiss organization over the past week, as now we're getting into my personal form of hell, the Houston Toros game. If you have not seen this game, you did not watch this game, this game went on for 2 hours. They restarted halfway through because of, I think it was Rise, did some naughty no things. So they straight up restarted the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to sit there for 6 quarters of football. Parker, if you're listening to this, I want compensations for that game. No man should have to go through 6 quarters of Roblox football and not receive something. So that's just my public notice. I want compensations from that game.
Yeah, I agree. That's a rough.
Well, not as rough as these stats here for Randy in said Houston game. Well, let's just get right into him. He went 18 for 36, a 425 passing yards, a 50 completion percentage on the dot, 4 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Not good. Also having 8 rushes for 59 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. But 4 touchdowns, 5 picks. Not good. Not good at all.
No, not one bit. I mean, there's no other way to put it than this is just
absolutely abysmal. I mean, this was possibly Randy's biggest game that he was going to play this season. I mean, this really was going to show who we were as a team and where we were at. I just
arguably when we were still at full strength and most potential in the league, and we showed everybody that all of that potential was that just potential. We did not have it in us.
Yeah, no. I mean, absolutely frauds exposed. So
indeed,
I'm not gonna say it nicely. So.
No, I don't think we should. Receiving wise, I do not logo FF 6 receptions for 86 receiving yards. Samuel 2 receptions, 88 receiving yards. I think that's the worst stat line I've seen from him since his last run here before coming back. I think that was, what was it? Was it 37?
I believe so.
Yeah. Like those weird. Yeah, it was the few games we had with the entire core last season. And Samuel was just not getting the ball last season, and this time not even breaking 100 receiving yards, getting real close though with 2 receptions, but also no touchdowns. So very interesting to see. Slushing runs, however, potentially making up for it, depending on how you look at it. 5 receptions, 103 receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns. Star Wars Freak, 2 receptions for 73 receiving yards, and Yamvert with 3 receptions, 75 receiving yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah,
I mean, I could say with certainty I've seen worse receiving core stats. Everybody was over 70 receiving yards on the day that has yards that got the ball here. So the guys that were getting the ball were getting yardage out of it, but
yeah, no, I mean,
there's nothing else to it.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you. For the first time on this show, I'm honestly gonna skip speaking in this section. I mean, I'll say it like this. I won't skip it, but this is, 103 yards for 3 touchdowns cannot be your number 1 stat line. I understand that's solid, but if you take the touchdowns away, that's mediocre at best. So. That's all I gotta say about that. I mean, this game. I mean, I'm gonna make sure I'll save my full thoughts for it at the end. But this was the complete opposite to what we needed.
All right. Well, we just got to get through the rest of these stats real quick before we get into the Toros, and then that's when we can really rip into this team. Aster out of his 11 drives, only letting up 1 sack. So Aster, if we have to give Player of the Game awards out, Brian, like we did last week, for the Dragons game, I'm giving it to Yamvert for getting the pick, and then for the Toros game, I'll give it to Aster, the only player whose stat line doesn't make me wish I was dead. And I know it's a center, but 11 drives, 1 sack. With the way the rest of these stats look, I say that's the best we had that game.
Yeah, no, for the Dragons game, I am gonna go a little. I'm gonna differ with you here. I'm gonna give this one back to Randy. I mean, this was still a solid game, 20 for 32, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but you have 6 touchdowns overall, adding his rushing touchdown, and that's why I'm so disappointed with what happened to Randy, because he was such like a gasp of fresh air, like the true dual threat that we've had here in Oklahoma. And obviously I'll save it for the end, but I mean, just so
but we're getting there. We are almost there.
But yeah, I'll give this one to Randy for back-to-back.
Defense set wise for the Toros game, Logo, he had a pass defended. Samuel, he had a pick, and Slushy Runs also getting a pick. So yeah, only 3 guys on the defense side of the ball getting anything. But now it is time. To look at the Toros stats. Of course, led by former Twister Sparkled. Who, I'm gonna be honest, he had a great game. Sparkle had a great game. 23 for 32, 489 passing yards, a 71.9 completion percentage, 5 touchdowns, and only 1 pick. Camables, he also got in the quarterback, but he threw a pick, so...
Yeah.
So, yeah, kind of just there, I guess. Rushing wise, so Sparkled 9 rushes for 54 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Receiving wise, this is not really like too like outlandish considering the Twisters defense.
Mm-hmm.
The real crumble cake, 5 receptions, 141 yards. Camels with a reception, 45 rushing, 35 yards. Power flip. Yes. See if I can try and get the back. Wait, OBS. Man, I guess even the power of Mother Nature doesn't want us to talk about this episode. Wow. Love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. If only I could have gotten OBS to pause, and you would not have to seen any of that. But no, OBS also doesn't want you to see this episode. Quite frankly, can't say I blame it, but it's. Let's go see now if we can get Brian back in here. We can resume where we were at. Get up, get up. I'm just gonna wait to get back. Hour of whatever's going on outside. My window does not want me to finish this episode. Now we just gotta wait for Brian. This is like behind a little behind the scenes thing, folks. This is what it's like for waiting for him to get back here. If only I could pause OBS. If only you would let me do that.
Alright.
Hey, he's back.
Alright.
Yeah, my power. I think the powers of Mother Nature do not want us to continue going, but we have to. So.
Well, because they know this is gonna get ugly.
Oh yeah. We didn't even finish going through the Toro stats. We were in the receiving core. But I just can't remember where we stopped.
Yeah.
So I think did I say real crumble cake and then I just like stopped existing?
Yeah, I was like, yo, like I can't hear you. So
My power flickered.
well, okay, so I ask because this fucker Randy is still ranked as head coach and everything.
I'm assuming it's because he's gonna be serving as head coach, but can't play or something. I don't know. We'll get to that when we get to that. Anyways, so for the rest of the receiving core, Tamables, he had a reception for 45 receiving yards. That's a lot of yards for one freaking reception. Maxi Band's 8 receiving yards, 8 receptions for 99 receiving yards and a touchdown. That's a tight end almost got 100 receiving yards in the day. Incredible. HKVM with 3 receptions for 63 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Might Zip 2 receptions for 20 yards and a touchdown, and Worry 4 receptions, 121 receiving yards and a touchdown.
Yeah,
Any of those stats stick out to you, Brian?
well, I mean, half the damn stat sheet does.
Yeah, we're about to get to the real part where I'm about to rip this team a new one. At center, this is not what I was talking about, but Venice ex Ventus. I have no idea how to say your name. I am sorry, but
That's my boy. He's cold. He's cold.
but out of his 10 drives, no tackle for losses and no sacks, so he had a good day for center. And then the defense. God, this team needs defense, and team needs a defense. The center, who I'm not going to try and say his name again, he got a sack. Resparkled gets a pick and a pass defended. The real crumble cake with a pick and a pass defended. Might Zip with a pick. Worry with a pick. Maxi Bands with a pick. You get a pick. You get a pick. It's like Randy was Oprah giving everybody a freaking interception.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I'm gonna wait until you approve that we're ready to go.
All right, that's the last of the Toro stats. So now we have this series number 2's events is how I'll say it for now.
Yeah.
So the Twisters double forfeit loss both of their games
Yeah, I mean that's
due to Randy getting suspended.
I mean that's.
Let me just go look at the suspension channel real quick. I had to go make sure it was a double. Look at the double forfeit thing real quick.
Is this an official season killer?
Ah, yes. Okay. So he's suspended for two seasons. It was originally 4, but now it was originally lowered to 2. Well, no, it was originally extended to 1. And then he got another one added on to that. What a dumbass.
Jesus.
So, this is what he was originally suspended for. So, he was originally suspended for 4 seasons for account sharing and dodging screen share. It was 4 seasons for a repeat offender. And then he was cleared by the inspector general for violation rights. And then the suspension comes back to 1 season for intention to alt. And this league staff unanimously agreed to give him 1 season. And then, guess what? It came back. Like an additional season for obstruction of justice and dodging screen share. What the fuck are you doing?
I mean, I'm gonna keep it quite straight about this team regarding the next season, because that's all you can look forward to at this point. All right, I mean, this is like, you know, Parker's my boy, but like we're gonna have to. I mean, this.
Now we
is
might
just
try and get him on next week and get his thoughts on this.
I mean, it's not his fault what has transpired like the last couple of seasons, but like ever since I've been here, this is just not the Oklahoma City football I know. I mean, quite frankly, this Houston team every season has our fucking number. I mean, I don't
since the first time they beat, since they've gotten Resparkled, Resparkle just knows how to beat them.
I mean, I seriously don't even care about whatever, like, cussing anymore. Like,
I can say with certainty for the segment, throw it out the window. Throw it in the trash.
I mean, I seriously do not give a shit. I mean, this guy literally finds a way to ball out on us every time we play him. It don't matter what type of God Squad team you have. I mean, like, seriously, something has to be done about this.
He's
like,
a damn kryptonite.
I mean, literally, whoever comes in to, you know, again, like, you know, whoever the new person is sitting in the head coach seat next season, I'm only assuming that's the way we're moving with this and not waiting for Randy. We have to. I'm going to say it like this. You have to get someone who understands how to keep a team together, because every season, almost every season, says, I don't know. I can't
36
remember
exactly. Is where we've really entered this formula of hell.
I'm so serious. Every season, it, like, recently has just been like, whatever.
We look promising. One game occurs. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it literally, it is like
it's a cycle. Somebody make it Twister cycle. Season starts. We look real promising. The Houston game. Fire sale. And then just start over again. Like the Dallas Cowboys cycle, but for the Oklahoma City Twisters. Season starts, promise, Houston game, fire sale.
I mean, this literally is so absurd. Every season, we are literally on our stomach, and the OFL is dragging us by the legs as we're kicking and screaming.
Into a tank.
Just literally trying to get us past the finish line because we can barely finish any season. We need to have someone serious and I'm not saying Bailey wasn't, but like, I don't know how we keep getting, and I hate to say it because it's going to sound so stupid, but I don't know how we keep finding like these troublemakers as head coaches. Like, there's always some abomination that just like always takes place. Like the loss is enough, and then throw in, I mean, God forbid, at this point someone's getting busted for CP. Literally anything.
Hang on, let me see if I can find them quick.
I mean, it manages to be a bigger slap in the face each season. I don't know how. I mean, look, I'm gonna say it like this. All right, regardless, I will, and it's crazy to say, but just until this team proves something to me, next season I will not go in with big expectations. I will wait for the team to prove something to me and prove to me why I should believe in them to, you know what I'm saying? Like, believe that they can win. I mean, Jesus Christ. I feel like I'm almost a curse because since I got here, it's been happening. I don't know what's good, but whoever's going to be next in office has to understand how to keep a team together, how to keep a team united, and somehow beat this Toros team, because ever since Resparkled has gotten here, I mean, we just cannot. This game shouldn't. It was generous to even be close in this game. It was utterly generous. We had. Yeah, you're good. I just every season around the same time, it's absurd. Like, this guy literally has our number. He dices up our defense every time we play him. Every time. And I said it on the last one. You can go back and watch it. I already knew that this was a strong possibility.
I'm pretty sure I had us losing too last week.
I might have had us squeaking one out, and
I think you were too generous last week.
I mean, because I genuinely believed in the team again, and then this happens again, and I really thought this was a new team. I thought for sure, like, there's no way this team's too much of underdogs for this to happen. I mean, the fact that we were even in this game with Randy throwing 4 interceptions at the time, and then on the game, what was supposed to be the game tying drive, he throws a pick. I mean, again, absolutely generous that we were even in this game in the first place. This is horrible. This is, like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Can we even make playoffs anymore?
God no. If we keep finding ourselves into more ways to screw this up, I am officially making a declaration. If we find more ways to get ourselves into more team drama, the Oklahoma City Sports Network will be temporarily retired, and this series will be officially renamed The Days of Our Twisters.
I mean, I literally, like this team gives me no courage to do the Twister Tribune, and I'm being so serious. That is the most real I'll be. That is the most real I'll be. Like, I wanted to bring it back so much, and last season I was ready to grind it out so hard. I just needed a couple, just a week or two, And then the Houston game rolls around and we can't get out of our own ways. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, this is just absurd at this point.
Oh, we're not even done. We still have one more thing.
I mean, this team, God, hey, we got to find someone like insanely better to take over this job, because this is not gonna work each and every damn season.
Well, we got one last thing to talk about, and let's try and make it brief here, Brian. We're pushing 40 minutes. So as of now, when we say fire sale, we mean one player, and that player is Samuel. Samuel was 3 days ago, the 21st, was traded to the Rams. And then, I'm not kidding, less than an hour later, the Rams trade Samuel to the Raptors. So, Kingo, congratulations. You got yourself a fantastic talent. And you know what? I'll be rooting for you, Samuel. I hope you get a ring, because at this rate, we ain't getting you one. I'll admit it. We ain't getting you one at this rate. So, yeah, Samuel, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you can bring the Raptors a ring. Maybe bring Kingo out of his depression. Because we have officially entered the days of our Twisters here in Oklahoma City.
I mean, this is literally the Twisters' funeral.
This is the 2018 Pittsburgh Steelers of the OFL.
I mean, just to get it out of the way, player of the game for this Houston game, I guess, Slushy runs, 5 receptions, 103 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's the only.
We can't really have a player of the game for the 2 games from this series because we didn't fucking play. They both ended in forfeits.
This is like when SpongeBob in SpongeBob when the Rock was racing. We are
Rocky?
the Rock. We have not. I know the Rock eventually won. This is
the timeline where Rocky just doesn't move.
Yeah. And the rest of the league is progressing, but we haven't. We are seriously the same team we were 3 seasons ago.
We are. Oh my God, we are the Steelers. Parker, rebrand the colors to black and gold, and we are the Steelers of the OFL. And that's not a compliment.
Which is so crazy because I'll forever stand by it. Last season, we literally probably had the chance to put together one of the greatest rosters of all time.
And you know what we did with it? You'll never guess what we did with it, guys. You'll never guess. We fucked it.
We got diced up by the same guy who made us look like a D3 football team.
No, I wouldn't say a D3 team. I'd say more like a Pee-wee team.
Yeah, maybe even putting them in college was too much of a compliment.
Yeah, maybe. I was gonna say Division III high school, but I'm pretty sure that's where I go for school. And I'm pretty sure those guys out there could beat these guys on the field.
Anybody could beat us. Any side league team who wants to do a
the Oklahoma City Sports Network Challenge. Any side league team, can you beat the Oklahoma City Twisters? Find out.
I mean, Jesus.
It's a joke, by the way, but if any of you are serious about that, I'll heavily consider it.
No, I mean, please enter my DMs if you're serious, because I'm really trying to figure out how good we are.
And no OFL teams, you cannot enter that challenge. It's an easy win.
Any OCFA teams who want to give it a go, like, I don't know. This,
Well,
I don't know. I really don't know.
Brian, I think we might be out of things to talk about, and we're almost out of time. We've gone over for 40 minutes. Granted, some of that was due to my power flickering, but outside of that, most of this has been us ripping the Twist, the team that employs us, an absolute new one.
I'm a realistic guy. I'll be realistic.
Whoever we play in series number 3, I have them beating us. I'll just go ahead and say it.
I don't.
Unless we play the Panthers, we might beat the Panthers.
I think that might be a stretch.
That's why I said might. I'm not confident.
We
If we lose to the Panthers, just dissolve the franchise and bring back literally any of the other franchises. Actually, you know what? Yeah, if we lose, bring back the Mustangs. They have a cool name. They didn't get much of a chance anyway. So yeah, Twisters lose. If the Twisters play the Panthers and they lose, dissolve the Twisters, bring back the Mustangs. I'm in favor of it.
Yeah, no, I'm about tapped out right now.
All right. Well, if you're about tapped out, I think we should wrap this one up here for you, Brian. Representing the, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do that one. That one. I'm the Cowboy Crab. He's Brian, and this was the days of our Twisters.
Unfortunate.